so this is our second video regarding living with chronic pain and suffering from depression. My experience suffering depression from it. I will give you 3 examples, which I thought was quite interesting. First example, I will probably talk about a patient of mine who suffers from a lot of pain, and one of the factors that really pisses me off about myself is that I feel like I'm a pussy. I'm a big girl that I can't suffer. Even though my pain level is say 2 or 3, and some people are on indone patches and oxycontins, and they're suffering from so much more pain. Like the guy I'm talking about, he's had 3 back surgeries and 4 leg surgeries, and he's going through a lot of pain, and he's just toughing it out. And I asked him that. I told him once that I don't want to live anymore, and he said, "You can't think like that." And when we talk to each other, he'll be like every minute he'll shudder in pain like that. And I'm going like, oh, this guy's toughing it out harder than me. Why do I feel like I want to kill myself when my problem compared to him is not that bad? And it made me feel like I feel so weak that I feel like I'm so weak. And obviously with my profession, I see people on depression, who are suffering from depression, people with pain, and I just don't know why they can tough it out and I can't, and I don't feel like I want to tough it out. And that pisses me off that I'm such a girl. Well, sorry, being sexist here, just being such a pussy. Why am I not that strong? That frustrated me, and it still frustrates me. That it's like there's people that's worse off than me, and wheelchairs and stuff, or blind. I mean, I'm not that bad, but I don't know. I can logically I can understand it, but it's still very hard because I still feel the depression. I still feel the emptiness and the sadness, and I don't know how to get rid of it. So I'm trying to say is that I feel like I'm weak. And I think I'm weak. But a friend of mine told me that it just takes time to adjust to it. Maybe they started off with the exact feeling that I have right now, but as time progresses, they can deal with it a bit better than easier. So one of the second patient that I'll talk about, not patient, but a friend of friends, we've been emailing because she's had back pain ever since she was 17, I think, or even younger, and she's had it for years, probably 7-8 years, or maybe not, probably as long as that. And we've been emailing each other, and she's been helping me out a lot about dealing with this chronic pain. And she was saying that eventually you'll get used to living with pain. And initially when I heard living with pain, it was like, oh, does it have to be me? And I don't want to go through living with pain. But what she was saying that eventually you'll get used to it, and which 7 months in, I kind of understand about getting used to it, because initially there'll be right at the start when you live pain is, and you get depressed because there's a lot of things you can't do anymore. For example, I couldn't sit, so I couldn't sit in front of the computer for a good few months. I could only sit for 10 minutes. I barely wanted to sit at all. I could stand for probably an hour or 2, maybe. I'll be toughing it out. So there's a lot of things I couldn't do anymore. And obviously that made me quite depressed. But as time progresses, your routine will change. The people you see will change. Your hobbies will change. Everything will change. And then eventually you live your life around the pain, which gives you a brand new life, though it's probably not the life that you wanted, but it is a new life that you have to get used to, and it might be okay. Hopefully it works out okay for you. So I think that's what she meant about living with pain. Eventually it'll be okay, but at the start it's a huge shock, because there's a lot of things you used to do but you can't do anymore. Like, for example, I like to go to the arcades and play Tekken, and I couldn't sit anymore. Like I said before, I couldn't sit in front of a computer, surf the web or anything, and it was a huge shock. And now I have to do things differently. I'll be using my tablet a lot more because I'll be in bed lying and I have to have the tablet there. So things change, and eventually it will get better, I guess. And the thing is, another patient, which I'll bring around to my the third person I want to talk about. She told me that she had bad health in her 20s, 30s, and 40s, and 50s. So it's always been a tough road for her. And she said depression is a really difficult thing. And she said one of the things that you really have to do is you have to grieve for your loss. Grieve for the loss of the things you can't do anymore that you used to really like to do. And I haven't been able to grieve for my loss yet because I'm still hopeful my problem will go away. And that's the other part that makes me really depressed. It's like, I don't know whether I should just accept, okay, I'm going to be in chronic pain for the rest of my life, or should I keep fighting? It's difficult. And I'll just quickly, the answer is you do both. You have to accept it. You learn to accept it right now that you're going to be living with pain for a long time. But during this time, you still have to fight. Try and get better. So the answer is both. You don't just stick to one. Because sometimes you just feel like, I don't know, I just found like I really wanted to be one or the other. But now I realize you have to do both. You have to accept what you have to do, which is live with the pain and live life now instead of live, because I was looking forward to, I want to live my life, do all the things I can do when I'm better. But I can't do that because that makes me even more depressed, because I'll be like, I'm still stuck here. Will I ever get out? So she said you have to grieve for the loss, so you might as well start grieving for the things you can't do anymore. And then new doors open, because I've learned so much about life after this experience. There's new things that you are forced to do. New doors open, and you just have to, do those now. So, yeah, that's what I learned, and hopefully, and that hopefully will help with it. Will help me with my depression a bit more, because you just have to learn to accept it and live life. But still, every day I feel like shit because I've got pain. It's like I describe it, it's just like a little dog biting you non-stop, every day, all the time. People don't understand. People just don't understand how annoying it is for the pain to be always there. I mean, I'm lucky enough to talk to patients that suffer from pain. I see them all the time. Chronic pain, that is. And it really helps me. And that's why I really wanted to start a support group. I don't know how to start a support group, because I think pain is such a personal thing. I probably will end my video with my third patient, or fourth person I'm talking about. She came in and I had to do set up a insurance account for her so she doesn't have to pay. We deal directly with the insurance company. And so I got to start to talk to her what her issue is, and she said she hurt her coccyx and it's all battered and you cannot be fixed, and she's in a lot of pain. She's on three different type of pain medications, and on that day I was not feeling very well. I was feeling shit and depressed, and I asked her, I was just telling her, like, I'm in my 30s. I still have to live with this pain for another 30 or 40 years. How am I meant to do this? And I've asked this to almost every pain patient that I have, and they all tell me, don't know. We're still here, aren't we? So there's no answer. If you're asking for the answer, how do you actually cope? I ask them, how do you cope? Because I'm not coping. And then they never ever give me an answer. They just shrug and go like, I don't know, you just do it. And I'm telling you now as well, you just do it. And as I said before, you just eventually find ways to cope. But what regarding her was that she told me that, well, look, she's got 2 kids, both under 5, and she has to live through this pain and also look after 2 of her youngest kids. And the 3rd kid was on hold because of the car accident. And I thought it was really ironic, because one of the reasons why I felt like really depressed was that I thought to myself, I can't have kids anymore. Because once I saw a little 6-year-old running around, and it was almost at the escalator. It was like, and the mom just ran forward and caught the child. And I was thinking, like, if that was in my case, I don't think I can run forward and catch my child. I'll be like, I'll be in a lot of pain. I don't think I can do it. And I got really depressed at the idea that I can't have kids anymore. And I kept thinking about it a lot, because like I said, you think about all the things that you're going to lose. And I thought it was really ironic that this lady is telling me how hard her life is going to be, looking after herself and also looking after 2 kids, while me complaining that I can't have kids anymore. But at least I don't have to look after 2 little kids, don't I? Isn't it? So I felt a bit better afterwards, unfortunately. That, if my problem goes away, then see me being hopeful again. But yeah, I just thought it was really interesting. So I'll end the video about depression right now. I haven't really touched about suicide. I will do that in maybe the next video or after the psychologist video. Yeah, so suicide. Cool. Oh yeah, it's probably going to be black and white as well. So I know this has gone on a bit, 2 parts as well, but I had a bit to talk about. So thanks for listening, and bye.